Welcome everyone to Merri Bowl in Livonia for the exciting opening rounds of the Bowling Showcase Challenge, Merri Bowl Region. I'm your host, Mark Martin, and thanks for joining us for this very exciting competition. To start off with, I'd like to thank our host center, Merri Bowl, for being our first regional center. Stop by sometime, bowl a few games, and tell them that Bowling Showcase sent you. Now on to the bowling. Now over the course of the season, you're going to be watching 16 hand-picked adult teams go head-to-head in single-game elimination matches. The 16 teams, they're divided into two regions, named after our respective host centers. The Merri Bowl region and the Super Bowl region. So we start this competition with 8 teams representing the Merri Bowl region. The home team, Merri Bowl. Last year's runner-up, Waterford Lanes. Mayflower Lanes, Rose Bowl Family Affair, Thunderbowl Lanes, the Monopoly team from Rose Bowl, Team Ansara, and two-time defending Bowling Showcase champions, Woodland Lanes. At the end of each match, our winning team will move into the next round of the competition and await the winners from the other first-round matches. So we start with 8 teams in the Merri Bowl region, then 4, and then finally, the winner of the last Merri Bowl regional match will earn the right to represent Merri Bowl in the final season-ending championship match. So let's take a look at today's first-round matchup. Our final Bowling Showcase first-round match features Thunderbowl squaring off against Team Ansara. Thunderbowl Lanes, they dominated the competition all the way to winning our very first Bowling Showcase way back in 2016. And Team Ansara, they come into the competition with an all-star group of bowling powerhouses led by the mighty Lou Ansara. Both these teams, they're ready to make a run at the title and prove they're the best. So there you have it. Once again, joining me for all this bowling action is former Team Canada member, Women's Series standout, and recently elected Michigan State Hall of Famer, Robin Orlikowski. I'm going to join Robin down laneside, get a better view of the action. We'll be right back with the start of the match after these messages on Bowling Showcase. The Michigan State USBC provides tournament competition and recognition for men, women, and youth bowlers in Michigan. The adult championship events for this season include the Open Championship, starting in January at Merri Bowl in Livonia and Westland Bowl in Westland, and the Women's Championship, starting in February at Northway Lanes and Sherman Bowling Center in Muskegon. Visit MichiganStateUSBC.com for entry blanks and more information on the Michigan State USBC.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Rich Glom, Managing Partner of Merri Bowl Lanes. And on behalf of my entire team, we're pleased to host this year's 2019 Bowling Showcase Challenge. At this time, we'd like to turn it over to Mark Martin and Robin at the Metro Detroit USBC. Take it away, Mark.
Okay, here we are in the final week of the first round of the Bowling Showcase Challenge, Merri Bowl region. We've got Thunderbowl Lanes. They were the 2016 champion. We have a different cast this year. And Team Ansara, Red Robin. Lou Ansara is one of the owners of Red Robin Restaurants of Michigan. And so what do you expect here? I mean, Ansara always puts a good team together.
Yeah, he always pulls some really good bowlers. Thunderbowl, I'm really excited to see them bowl since there's so many new bowlers on their team. It's going to be exciting to see how this all unfolds.
First up for the Thunderbowl Lanes team on lane 4 is Jessica Mitchell. She's a senior accountant and a high average of 209.
One of her goals is to win a Michigan State Queens title. That's like one of her top goals.
Well, she threw a pretty good shot there. That, if it's a one shot, she's in.
Yeah.
That was a great shot, though.
That was really good, yes.
Great shot. Trey Raines leading off for the Red Robin Lou Ansara team. High average of 242, been bowling for 27 years.
Great shot.
And throws a strike.
He's really looking forward to bowling nationals this year with Lou and his team. It'll be his second time bowling nationals only.
Okay, up next for the Thunderbowl Lanes team, Mark Bilancetti. Been bowling 15 years. Goes by the nickname of Tony, middle name being Anthony.
Yep. His dad's name is Mark, so they thought, well, we'll call you Tony.
Two-hander. And trips out that 10-pin from the back.
Nice. I see he has some colorful socks on. I wonder if that has anything, any significance. They're like a real bright teal color.
I don't know. We'll find out. Might have to ask him that question. Julie Halstead, 2011 Michigan State Hall of Famer, as my co-host Robin Orlikowski now is.
Yeah, thank you.
Soon to be inducted. Up on the right-hand lane. Been bowling for 42 years.
Julie's been always a force when it comes to the Michigan Queens tournament. You know she's going to be up in the top there.
She leaves the 6'10", came a little high, the left-handed bowler. I believe Julie is the first left-hander in our competition this year.
No, we did have one last telecast. It was a male bowler. He was a lefty.
Oh, last week? Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
But we haven't seen many.
No.
Which is good for them in a sense, because what happens is that their side of the lane doesn't transition as much because there's not as much traction.
That's true.
So going for double wood here, we've got the 6'10".
And covers it easily.
No problem.
Ryan Jowski, Dearborn Heights, high average 224. Just graduated from the University of Michigan Dearborn and bowled for that program.
He won the Motor City doubles title with Vern, who's on his team today. A little high there, leaving just the 4-pin, so that really helps out. Single pin spare here. I asked him who got him started into the sport, and he said his dad and his uncles were very influential.
This is such a family-oriented sport. You know, people join because of it and stay because of it too.
Yeah, and it's so nice to see families bowling together, and I think it really is a sport for life, because you can start it at such a young age and, you know, bowl up until you can't walk anymore.
That's true. Okay, now the man, the legend, Lou Ansara, up on the right-hand lane. Lou, high average of 218, been bowling for 60 years.
He just loves the sport. He loves what it brings, what it represents. He loves sponsoring and promoting leagues, tournaments, and charities. So he's a person who really gives back.
He's a big force in the state of Michigan with his SSO tournaments, the Senior Singles Open, which is a monthly scratch singles event for seniors.
Nice.
And puts a lot of his own money into it because he guarantees $1,000 first place regardless of the number of entries.
Wow, that's amazing. I know it's, for the women part of it, it's age restricted. I think 40?
40, correct.
I can bowl now. I'm excited.
That's right. Vern Flowers up on the lane 4 here at Merri Bowl. Vern kicks out that 7-pin.
Nice. His Uncle Ralph and Uncle Max Sr. really got him started in this game. He wants to say thanks to them.
Right. You know, in the last telecast, I did talk about why we're using lanes 4 and 5 and never got back to it. So I guess I might have to do that now.
Yeah.
But not quite yet, because we have the Dancing Bear up. Darren Flores, high average 238, been bowling for 35 years.
He's a fun character, too.
And throws a strike.
We were
Ansara.
teasing him before the telecast about last year and how he missed some 10 pins, and he told me that Lou made him get a spare ball.
Okay, so now up on the left-hand lane for Thunderbowl, Earl Anthony.
The Earl Anthony?
And
Nice.
a big strike for Earl.
Well, he's a lefty too.
He is a lefty.
So his nickname is King, and I asked him, how did you get that nickname? And he said because he was bowling so good at Harper Lanes that they just said, like, you're the king of Harper Lanes. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, Harper Rec doesn't exist anymore, though, unfortunately. Up on the right-hand lane, Ken Wyatt, Detroit Bowling Hall of Famer. Leaves the 7-pin.
He has 77 300 games and 70 800s with a high of 874.
Well, he's a tremendous bowler, that's for darn sure. And he's clutch.
Is he in the 5th position here?
He is.
He is.
He is the anchor man.
Okay, no problem
And
there.
a spare for Ken. So we've got a pretty tight match so far. 22-pin lead for the Thunderbowl Lanes team. They have 4 out of 5 strikes. And that 4-pin back in the 3rd frame by Ryan. And Ansara's got all marks, just don't have a double yet. So what do you think the second half might bring?
So both teams are clean.
Both teams are clean.
So, wow. Goodness, Thunderbowl has 4 out of 5 strikes.
Ansara has 2.
Okay, I don't know. It's, you know, it ain't over till it's over, and
That's true.
You're changing lanes, so you don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, you've been paying attention, maybe even to the other team and what they're leaving. So anything can happen.
So we get to this. Teams are going to switch lanes. We get to the second half of the match, and Ansara is going to lead off, and they can start to make their mark, hopefully, and put a little pressure on them.
Yeah.
So we'll be back after these messages with the second half of the match, the final match of the first round of the Merri Bowl region of the Bowling Showcase Challenge.
Honestly, we were all thrown together, kind of recruited, and at the last minute, we kind of all just came together, and I think it's going to be a good thing. I think a lot of it's just going to be supporting one another, and just, you know, just having fun with it. It's always awesome to come out and bowl with people that you don't normally get to bowl with, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think they're going to have to watch out because there's a lot of talent, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm ready to hit the lanes. I'm ready to have fun, and this is definitely something that I've always looked forward to doing. So I'm ready.
Won a lot of professional tournaments. We won a lot of tournaments worldwide. I mean, we won more in the last 10 years worldwide than any company. We make good bowling balls, and good players use our bowling balls because they can win with them.
Just basically throw strikes. That's the only way to win and not open. Got a bunch of studs, including the lady. She's a late replacement for Michelle Berryman, Julie Halstead, accomplished bowler, and the other 3 speak for themselves. 2 of the members of my team are on my team in the All-Stars, and we've won multitudes of titles, and I love I've been in it for 38 years. Well, having run one for 15 years, I could tell you that both partners, in the case of my doubles, and in this case team, all have to be in sync. You can't win without pretty much all your bowlers filling frames.
Hey, here we are back. The teams have changed lanes now. The Ansara team is now on the left. They're down by 22 pins. We'll see what happens. Any words of advice for the Ansara team?
Just get your spares. I mean, try to keep in the pocket. Leave makeable spares.
Okay, so what about the Thunderbowl Lanes team? They've got a nice little lead here.
I think the rookies are showing them that they don't have any fear.
They are. So Trey Raines now leading off for the Ansara team on the left-hand lane. The reason we selected lanes 4 and 5 here at Merri Bowl is that way each team would have their own rack for all the balls that they carry these days with their spare ball and their strike ball. So each team has a full rack. That's the reason we moved it over from the traditional odd and even. And a big strike by Trey Raines, starting off the second half of the match.
I love how they give 5 to each other. I mean, that's what bowling's all about, just having a good time and the camaraderie.
So Lou Ansara on his team lineup sheet put one of his subs down as God because we really need him. I hope that's not a premonition.
They're really, I mean, keeping up. Both these teams are putting the pressure on, so I'm not sure that God needs to come into play yet.
Jessica Mitchell for Thunderbowl.
All right, she leaked that way to the right.
Oh, and almost knocked it over.
Wow.
The 210.
Obviously, she's not happy with that shot. It looked like it maybe like hung up a little bit, but she definitely leaked it too far to the right. I think she just got too slow with it, maybe too deliberate with it.
Could be.
And
makeable though. Right?
That's a head pin and
210.
Oh, a 210. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Now this is a difficult one too. You might be the left side of the head pin, or sorry, the 2 pin, and fly it over.
And she covered it.
I believe that is our first split conversion
of this series.
Of this series so far.
That's
yeah.
right.
Great.
Great shot. So Julie Halstead now up for the Ansara team.
At the State Queens, she was the champion in 2000.
2008 and 2000, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. She's won it twice. That's awesome.
Yep. Came up high, leaves the double pinochle, the 4, 6, 7, 10.
And that's what happens. This is what happens sometimes when you change lanes. You just don't really know because you practice on them before the TV show, and then the other team bowls on them.
Right.
And with the nerves and the lights and the arena setting, you just hope you make a good shot.
Oh, and almost made it.
Holy cow.
Got the 4, 6, 7 out of that double pinochle and left the single 10 pin.
Well, it definitely helps for pin count.
That's for sure, because they were on a strike.
Yeah.
Every pin gets you 2 when that happens. Mark Bilinsetti up on lane 5.
Or Tony, that he likes to go by.
Or Tony, that's right.
I asked him what his hobbies were, and he says he likes to sleep. Another throw where it's slightly to the right, a little missing his mark.
Left the 1, 2.
I think maybe he just got a little too fast on that. And it seemed like his approach was quick. I mean, he has a quick approach anyways, but I just don't think he like really set up and got ready.
Kind of looked that way to me too.
He's bowling for the University of Michigan Dearborn, and I asked him what his goals were for this year, and he said he just wants to do as well as he can and help his team get as far as they can during the collegiate season.
Very good. Bowling for Marty Marshall, coach of the U of M Dearborn team.
And if you have an opportunity to bowl in college, it will be an unbelievable experience. There are so many universities and colleges out there that offer it. It's amazing.
Lou and Sarah coming through.
Nice.
Lou.
He loves it.
That's right. Pointing to the crowd even. Now up on the right-hand lane, Ryan Jowski. Ryan back in the 3rd frame, left a 4 pin and easily covered it.
One of his goals would be to bowl in a PBA regional.
That's easy enough to happen.
I think so. And he wants to bowl nationals. He wants to continue to bowl at national level.
So Thunderbowl Lane's team has a 30-pin lead through 8 frames. Both teams working on strikes. Hey, Darren Flores, now is the time for a strike.
Let's see how.
Foundation 9th.
Crossing my fingers for him. There you go.
He listened.
See? Whenever you say it, it happens.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so now Thunderbowl Lane's team, Vern Flowers, veteran Vern Flowers is what I'll call him. Vern's been around a long time, bowled a lot of tournaments. I think he's bowled just about every year in the challenge.
Oh, it looks like he fell off his shot there a little bit.
He did, and left the 4-7.
Having a steady approach, and if you can, you know, throw the ball and keep everything, like we call it like posting your shot. You make sure that you're solid at the line. That really helps. Even if you don't catch it very well at the bottom, if your body is in a decent position, it'll really help with the carry. That was a better throw.
And a good cover by Vern. So going to the 10th frame, here's the setup. Thunderbowl has a max score of 225, and Ansara has a max score of 215. So here's a chance for Ken Wyatt to be the anchor man that Ansara knows he is. There's
Nice.
strike number 1.
Very nice.
Is this going to be like baseball, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3?
I hope so. That's exciting.
That's what Ansara is hoping for, and so is Ken Wyatt. Ken Wyatt's a member of the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame, also a member of the Michigan Majors Hall of Fame. Likes golf and travel. High average 237.
Oh, he was solid at the line.
There's strike 2. We have a remote possibility of a tie. And Sarah Wyatt throws a strike here for 215. Strike spare for the Thunderbowl Lanes team would be 215. So let's see what happens.
Nice shot.
And a strike. Good finish by the Ansara team, 215. After that double pinochle that Julie Halstead almost made,
Yeah.
and that pin count, those 3 pins out of 4 that she got, really put him in a position
Yeah.
to close strong at 215.
Because like you said, if they strike and spare and they go into a tie, she didn't get that,
That's
that
right.
third pin.
Earl Anthony here needs his first strike to stay in the match.
Let's see. No.
Leaves the 3 pin. The max score now for Thunderbowl is 214. Spare and a strike here, and it'll be a 1 pin differential.
Wow. Well, the closest opportunity we've had
That's right.
so far this series.
So Earl Anthony comes up in the 10th frame here, the 11th frame really, throws a strike, and Thunderbowl will come up 1 pin short in this match.
That's where every pin counts. Every spare counts, you know.
Look at that. We're going to go back to that key double pinochle that Julie Halstead left.
Yeah. Oh,
And
man.
a 9 count. 213. Final score of this match. And Sarah, 215, closing out with the last 5 strikes of the match to a 213 by Thunderbowl. Congratulations to both teams. Thunderbowl was clean, and Sarah had that 1 open frame, that double pinochle, but that crucial double pinochle, because Julie went for it and got 3 out of 4, was really the differential in the match.
Yeah, it made a difference.
That's right.
Plus, I mean, having all those strikes afterwards, just putting that pressure on for Earl to strike in the first ball.
Yep.
I mean, it made a big difference.
That's right. So we'll be back after these messages. We're going to talk to Lou Ansara about the strength of his team and what he thinks about them moving into the semifinals here on Bowling Showcase.
The hug pickup, the home run swing, the drum major high step, the genuine joy, the unforgettable party, the food, the friends, the original social network. No matter who you are, it's always a great time. Grab your family, find a friend, and go bowling.
Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com. Well, Lou, congratulations on your team making it to the second round, the semifinals here at Merri Bowl. I think, Robin and I think, the key to the match was the double pinochle spare shot by Julie. What do you think?
I think that's 100% correct.
I mean, she set the rest of you guys up, and you came through with that strike in the 8th frame.
Well, that was obvious.
The man, the legend, did it.
That's right. Thanks.
Okay, 215 to 213. Nice to be into the semifinals, isn't it?
Yeah, first time.
First time. No, I think you've made the semis before.
Okay.
All right. Well, Lou, congratulations to your team, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Thank you.
All right. So here we are now. The first round is over with. Ansara has punched their ticket, the Red Robin team. Next week, we start the semifinals. Remember back in week 1, Merri Bowl had that big game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, 258 to 191 over Waterford. Mayflower then won the sausage game.
Right, yeah.
186 to 146. And so the two of them are going to face off in the first round of the semifinals here at Merri Bowl. You got any thoughts, Robin?
Well, I mean, there's been some time since they've bowled, so you don't know how things are going to unravel now, but I have to think that Merri Bowl is going to advance more, only because they have 11 out of 12 strikes. And the other team, Mayflower, had a 186 game, so they were a little up and down. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they both are like...
Merri Bowl had 4 strikes. Merri Bowl had 11 strikes. Mayflower had 4 strikes. Case closed, right? I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
No, you got to play the game.
You don't know. It's not over until it's over. You actually have to bowl.
That's right. So we'll find out next week when the semifinals start here at Merri Bowl in the Bowling Showcase Challenge.